So we've had a look at some instances of not so great essay first paragraphs. Now I want to talk about three structures that undergraduate essays very often fall into. So one of them is the cut and paste from lecture notes, right? So this is effectively you're probably going to get a third class or a bottom end of the two twos kind of grade for this, where what you're submitting is basically just the lecture notes written out again, cut and paste, and returned to the lecturer who gave them. There are a few lecturing experiences more depressing than reading a garbled version of one's own lecture notes. The student who submits this hasn't done any original reading beyond the handouts, but worse still, hasn't even thought about the content of the handouts. Even if you haven't got time to do any reading, beyond looking at the lecture slides, at least do me the favour of thinking about what you've found in the lecture slides and put something of your own into it. If all you do is return the material that the lecturer gave to you, we can't give you much credit for it. At least do us the favour of giving us some thoughts about whatever it was we said. The thing we want in a philosophy essay is an original argument. We want to see something that we haven't given you already. Something we want to get something back that wasn't in the package that we gave you. So the cut and paste from lecture notes. This isn't about returning the stuff, right? This isn't a memory test. Okay, slightly better than the cut and paste from lecture notes is the Newsnight report, kind of current affairs report. The one that goes, well, X said this, Y said that. Presumably they disagree because we're given opposing views to consider. But I haven't really understood this thoroughly enough to be able to see how they engage with each other. So I'll just report them in two different lumps and then say, well, and this debate will run and run, right? So it's like journalism, where you just say, well, the X party said this, the leader of the Y party said that. It's not my job as a journalist to take a view. I'll just say, there they are, the pair of them. It is your job as a philosophy student to take a view. It is your job to adjudicate those contests. And besides, philosophers with opposing views very often end up kind of dancing a kind of logical tango, where they respond to each other's views, and they both start off kind of over here, and one makes a move and the other one makes a counter move, and they move and counter move and move and counter move, and the debate ends up being about something else, and they end up still together, still facing each other and opposing each other, but they've kind of travelled some distance together. Entire debates will shift. And the Newsnight report, that's kind of, hello, Mr. Punch, hello, Crocodile, kind of misses that logical tango that opposing philosophers will end up dancing with each other. Okay, the third disappointing essay structure is the factual report plus emotional reaction. So this is what I think of as the truck and trailer essay, where you'll get 2 or 3 pages of fairly solid bookwork that describes the relevant arguments that other people make, and then you get a short paragraph at the end that says, and I feel that the answer to this is whatever. Well, if that's what you're doing, if you're just giving a gut reaction to the question. What was the point of all the bookwork, right? And what's the basis of your conclusion? Your conclusion needs to be based on arguments that you've been developing through the whole essay, right? So it needs to be, a single whole. I shouldn't really be able to spot the join where you shift from discussing other people's views to saying what you think, because your discussion of other people's views should be all in the service of building up your argument and making your conclusion seem like the only sensible, natural, sane, reasonable line to take on whatever the question is. Okay, so those are three ways not to do it. In a moment, I'm going to show you a professional example, give you some sense of how we do want you to do this stuff, because but first, have another look at your old essays and see if you can see any trace of those three not so great structures: the cut and paste from the lecture notes, the Newsnight report that refuses to commit itself either way, or the truck and trailer where you have a chunk of bookwork saying what everybody else's arguments were, followed by a short paragraph giving a kind of your gut reaction to the question. It's perfectly fine if you look at your old essays and find all that stuff, because your job here is to improve. Your job is to get better at this stuff. We don't mind if there's plenty of room for improvement. What we care about is sincere and sustained efforts to make those improvements. All right, have another quick look at your old essays and see if you recognise any of the things I've been talking about. And then tune in for the third instalment, where I will show you a professional example.